Hello and welcome to episode 10. Yes, we have not been canceled in 10 episodes of Marketing Uncensored. I'm Collin Slattery.
I'm Sam Tomlinson.
And Sam, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about some Black Friday. We're going to talk about some crazy developments, and I don't know what else. We'll figure it out. We'll do it live.
Crazy developments.
And speaking of
we
those,
live in interesting times.
I
think
do.
that is true.
We do. The president and the chairman of the Federal Reserve donned hard hats this week. That was cool.
Nothing says first world economy like your central banker and the president discussing a construction site.
It says we build here in America, Colin. We're builders.
I've forgotten that lesson with all my time in Europe. They don't build over here.
That's true. They regulate.
That is true. I have an awful water bottle with a cap that doesn't come off. So,
yeah, that was not one of the better that was not one of the better inventions. But hey, at least everything uses a USB-C over there.
That is nice. Scanning out of the public transportation, also not nice.
Yeah.
But reliable transportation, that is good. I will take it.
Yes, well, it does help when most of the continent was flattened less than 90 years ago.
You know what else is good? Sydney Sweeney. She is excellent.
Yes, she is absolutely fantastic. Brings us to our number of the week, 10%. That's how much American Eagle stock jumped when it was announced that Sydney Sweeney would be the face of the fall campaign.
And I don't think that's the only thing that jumped when she was named the face of the fall campaign.
At the risk of almost getting canceled at 10, it probably was not. But Sydney Sweeney has great genes. I think that is just undeniable.
Yeah. That's what they tell me. And who am I to object to what American Eagle is telling me?
Well, this is the same person that managed to sell Dr. Squatch out of her bathwater?
Yeah, and then into a $1.5 billion acquisition.
Yeah, well done, Sydney Sweeney. It turns out that the only growth hack you ever need is to be able to afford Sydney Sweeney.
Sponsor our podcasts.
Sydney Sweeney.
That's right. Who knew sex sells? Never would have guessed.
Time is a flat circle, Colin. When we grew up, sex sold, because I'm old enough to remember Megan Fox and Transformers.
I am also old enough to remember that. I remember some very exciting Carl's Jr.'s ads.
Oh, yes. I remember those. I remember Britney Spears. I remember Christina Aguilera. Well, this is a new change, right? We're going, what's old is new again.
Baggy suits and wide leg jeans and sex selling products very easily.
I'm here for it. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I wish I was tipped off ahead of time. Would have been nice to buy a little American Eagle.
A little front running some American Eagle. I mean, you have to sell at the peak though, unlike what you did with Tesla, where you just held the shorts too long.
That is true, but I made it up before the earnings announcement this time. So, dumb decisions breed smart decisions sometimes.
That's true.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it turns out that if you're a company, you should probably not absolutely incinerate the cash you have on your balance sheet before you report to investors how well you're doing.
Or alienate the people who buy your products.
Also a good life choice. All right. So, aside from hiring Sydney Sweeney to, add that little extra oomph to your Q3, Q4 efforts, I think last week we left off with a discussion of Black Friday pep. We talked about what brands should be doing, what brands aren't doing. And I think this is one of the episodes that we've gotten the most comments on. So people want to hear more. And who are we to deny
Give the people what they want.
Yeah, we're not Marie Antoinette over here. You want the ideas for Black Friday? You got them. Influencers, creators. It actually might be a helpful thing to talk about before we get into it. Because I don't know about you, but I've had multiple meetings with CMOs who are just using these terms interchangeably, and then they get all upset when you don't use the right one.
I mean, they are two technically different things.
So I think the way we think about this, the way I talk about this, is an influencer is somebody who has an existing base of followers that you are paying to access those followers, right? You are paying for them to create something, an ad, a sponsored post, what have you, based on their existing, we'll call it, relationship with a certain segment of your audience.
A content creator is a Z-list actor.
That is correct. Creators, Z-list actors. Like, they couldn't quite crack IMDb, so they're on one of these creator platforms.
They got cut from the extra scene, so they're like, you know what? I'm going to make content for a living. Which actually leads me to a little bit of a pro tip around creators. You can actually just hire budget actors, and they will create great content for you because they're actual professionals. Not
That is
world-class professionals, but better than Becky at home. So
That
if
is
you
true.
haven't tried actual, again,
And they're not expensive. Like
They're
lot
super
of
cheap.
these, like some of these Z-list actors, I mean, their day rate's $500 or $1,000.
yeah, a lot of them are cheaper than content creators.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you end up with a wonderful, you can get an hour's worth of content from them for $250 with perpetual usage rights. It's a beautiful thing.
And unlike a lot of the UGC folks, you'll actually believe that they used the product.
That's true. They are very good. A Z-list actor, we could talk about actors. I think it's a profession where there are definite power law effects. It's like the Brian
Yes.
Scalabrine effect. Like Brian Scalabrine is closer to Michael Jordan than I am to Brian Scalabrine in basketball.
Yes.
Right? So even a Z-list actor is going to be phenomenal because they have spent years and years and years perfecting their craft and honing their skills and going to lessons and being in productions, and all of that gets to come to you for like a very low price. So where do you source yours from? Do you just like go hunt on IMDb for people who haven't had work in a few years and drop them some DMs, or like what's the method?
There are websites like was it Backstage you can source from. New York has a lot of just like local publications. I think it's Backstage is the main one. Yeah. Have you used Backstage?
I have not used Backstage, but I'm very curious. Like I have a couple friends that are actors in Hollywood. Like two fraternity brothers of mine they're not quite Z-list, but they're like definitely E-list. Like they've made like Law and Order and shit, but it's
Okay.
usually like as murder victim number 2.
That's okay. If you're good enough to be murder victim number 2, you are good enough to sling some socks.
Exactly. So every time I need one, I'm just like, hey, who's good and fits this demographic? And I get like 3 people texted back to me. I'm like, oh, perfect. Thank you.
And
And
it's,
it almost always comes with a Venmo request. And I'm like, okay, got it. Starving actor thing is real.
It pays better than serving coffee at the Coffee Bean. So
I mean, does it? The Coffee Bean pays every 2 weeks. Acting gigs,
I meant the content creation.
Oh.
$500 is going to be a better day than working at the Coffee
Yeah.
Bean.
That's 100% true.
And they also get impressions too. That's the other thing, right? Like they get their face. You're paying to show their face to people.
Right. And every once in a while, I'm sure one of them ends up parlaying what they're doing for you into their demo reel. They use it for commercials. It's actually a win-win. So I think it's a great idea. If you are trying to find talent, it's a good place to look. The other one that we use and that some of our clients use is Trend, which we've liked to them. They've been pretty good to work with. It's basically
Use that.
it's a UGC marketplace. It's like 3,000, like 20,000 creators, I think.
Okay.
You just basically go in there, you put in what you're looking for, kind of like what you're doing with the actors in Backpage, I'm assuming. Like, I need some
Backstage.
Backstage.
Backpage is something else.
That is true.
I don't know what kind of quality content we'll find on Backpage, but
The
it's
same kind that
probably
sells
not
Sydney
something we'll
Sweeney.
be using in meta ads.
I don't know. I mean, Sydney Sweeney's bathwater sounds pretty. It could move some bathwater.
Yeah, that is, and considering how you know, up and down the meta sensors are, you might actually be able to get some of that shit through.
I think you could probably squeak it through.
We got so off the rail.
You really did. All right, but anyway, Black Friday. Back to it. We're back in the game. All right, we're talking creator partnerships.
And maximizing your creator partnerships in order to have great creative that you can then use for Black Friday.
Which brings me to thing number 2. If you are not going the creator route, if you are going the influencer route, where you are paying somebody to access their following who has a loyal following, whether that be Sydney Sweeney or Sydney, I don't know who, right? Sydney next door. Do not make the following mistake. And I've seen 2 brands make it now. You're probably negotiating that deal about now. Make sure the terms of that agreement allow you to use this content through the end of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That sounds stupid to say. But
It does sound stupid to say.
But I know 2 brands that on the Friday on the Black Friday, the Friday that is the most important, their usage rights ran out because somebody didn't know how to read a calendar.
I bet you that influencer knew how to read a calendar.
That influencer did, because then the brand was over a barrel, and, well...
Prices went up, I'm
prices
sure.
went up. When demand is infinite and supply is 1, price go up.
Did not know supply and demand was a thing.
You know, if you live in New York, I could understand how you might be confused about that with the... Never mind. Zohan.
with the mayoral candidate.
That would be correct.
Yeah.
But anyway... In all seriousness, if you are using influencers, the single best thing to do is to make sure that you negotiate upfront your usage rights to extend all the way through the holiday period. Because otherwise, you may find yourself trying to pull down top-performing ads in the middle of Black Friday simply because the influencer is demanding an inordinate amount of money to continue using them.
And that is not what you want on Black Friday.
We are about the stress-free Black Friday. We are not about the... oh my god, I have to sub out 900 meta ads Black Friday.
And we're also the spend as much money as you possibly can Black Friday.
That is true. And you will not be spending as much money as you can if you need hundreds of new ads reviewed because your influencer deal, your usage rights ran out.
Yeah. And your ads should not be reviewed, as we spoke about last week. They should already be ready to go ahead of time. So... presumably, everyone who's listening to this has listened to last week's episode where we went through all of the prep work that needed to be done. Let's talk about, all right, Black Friday is here. Your promo period has started, right? All your prep work is finished. You did a good job. Congratulations. Pretty stress-free. Now it's about making the most of your Black Friday / Cyber Monday / surprise, Black Friday extended. Who would have thought it? Period.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That's just bad. It's just in bad taste. We're about having good taste. High standards.
Yes. Do not do Black Friday extended.
No. Black Friday is not extended. Black Friday is a Friday. Cyber Monday is a Monday. We're done.
Everybody asked. Nobody asked. Like, just end it.
No one asked you for it. Like, that was one person. They suck. Don't ruin a marketing campaign over somebody who sucks.
That's right. But yes, how do you get the most out of that short window of time? And again, if you listen to the last episode, it will be a short window of time because you will not be extending in perpetuity your holiday promotion.
I think there's a few things that you can do to make the most of it. You know, one is you want to have moments throughout that day that are going to act as natural triggers. Obviously, the most common of those is you have a series of emails that are probably going out during Black Friday that will remind people. So you want to make sure that you are piling onto that. The second most common is probably some kind of time delimited offer or time delimited sequence where it's like, hey, Amazon's great at this, right? Prime Day Prime Day 1 part 1 is this set of products. Prime Day 1 part 2 is this set of products. And it serves as like this natural trigger that keeps people coming back because they're like, well, I want this, this, and this. So I have to come back 3 times. But then every time they come back, you can hit them with upsells and cross sells and other things and get them really inflate those AOVs just because you are piling in products.
One thing that I also think is important to speak about for this 4-day window in particular, and really it's primarily Friday and Monday, and that is old school day trading, media buying does in fact apply.
Yes.
You can surf scale the shit out of it. You can quintuple your budgets in an hour. You can and should, I will say, like we, really, I'm at the wheel, like adjusting budgets in like,
oh yeah,
every 15 minutes and looking at them because you can really squeeze out another 20 or 30% beyond what you think is already aggressive if you're really, day trading the
living daylights out of it. 100%. Yeah. And the thing to remember, and it's not, I think, widely published, but it's true, is that when you set a daily budget for Meta, oftentimes what Meta will do is they will allocate that across the day, right? So even if you look at it and you're like, my daily budget's $10,000 and I've spent $3,000 and it's 9 or 10 a.m. Well, at 10 a.m., you may want to spend $5,000, but Meta is probably not going to spend that unless, as Collin says, you're quintupling the budget up because it's looking at it and saying, I've spent 3, I've got 10, that means I have 7, and I need to make that 7 last from 9 or 10 a.m. through midnight. So I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to be as aggressive as I should be here because I need to make this budget stretch. Whereas if you are looking at this as the media buyer and you're saying, oh, wait a minute, we're above target, we are hitting our numbers, we are good on inventory, we are good on stock, quintuple the budget. Now Meta looks at that and says, well, I can spend 4x or 5x more in this window of time that you want to push people in than I otherwise could because Collin has been a good person and quintupled my budget.
Yes. And in order to do this, you need a spreadsheet like that, and you essentially need a couple of numbers, and that is how much you're spending on your ad platforms and how much revenue is coming in hour by hour. And you set up some formulas. We have a spreadsheet where you just paste in the data. It'll update. There are lags too, so especially like you'll see spend can lag a few hours. So like you'll see previous hours spent, especially on Meta, like scale up. Like it can, if you spent $1,000 in, the 10 to 11 a.m. hour, like it might actually end up being like 1,400 as you keep like updating your spreadsheet because it takes a few hours for that to come in. So factor that in. But yeah, you should be, again, intraday trading on Meta. You need to be looking at numbers that are actually real. And the only 2 things that you can have to look at are spend and revenue.
100%. I mean, it's not a...
Have your MER target.
Yeah, it's not a comp... I think the other piece to look at, though, is everybody... I think a lot of media buyers look at a Black Friday kind of media buying event and they see, like, generally speaking, sales go up and to the right throughout the day because sales are a counting metric, right? But what's hidden underneath that is there are going to be periods where sales drop off, and what you want to do there is probably drop your budgets back down when you start to see like those performances going, nope, well then pull your budget back down. There are periods people just aren't buying from you. Like, you are not the center of your customer's universe. When you see the movement go the other way, feed the bulls.
I will say that there's additional metrics, and this was actually something we did last year because we had a client where they actually had their first $1 million day on Black Friday, and around like 7 p.m. they wanted to pull back because the efficiency was like not nearly where they wanted it to be. But it wasn't that people weren't buying, it's just the AOV was abnormally low in that hour. And so if your performance is down, right, look at the rest of the numbers because it might just be a fluke of variance, which is what it was here, right? Their AOV was normally around 200. It was at 160 pacing that hour, which is weird. None of the other hours were like that. It was like, nope, hold,
Right.
and ended up making sense. So, you want to be very, very smart about the decisions you're making, and like doubly so, right? Like if you have a great hour, but it's because your AOV was 50% higher than it is in any other hour of the day. Like maybe wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is very much an old school media buying event. And I think the advantage is that I tend to believe that the most value you can capture is when you do things that other people don't do.
Yes.
And the reality is that the vast majority of people who are spending money on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whether they are larger companies, they are not doing this. They are not day trading their account. They are not doing any of it. They are putting in a budget for the day. They are pressing go, and that is that. So there is a huge advantage to be gained if you are willing to essentially do the thing that they are not, which is be flexible.
And with actual financial market day trading, it can be very uncomfortable, especially if it's your money, because these numbers, demand on Black Friday is infinite, right? You could normally spend $1,000 a day on Meta, and you could spend $50,000 on Black Friday.
So you're talking about 2 months, essentially, of meta spend could be compressed into a 24-hour period, and that is not abnormal.
And it's uncomfortable to do that. But you can do that, and I think if you're a brand owner or a media buyer at a brand or just a media buyer at an agency who hasn't done it before, right? Like, this is A, why you need to be polling your data frequently, and B, you just have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and trusting that your revenue numbers are accurate, your spend numbers are accurate, like they're both coming from Shopify and Meta, like they're real, and if the light is green, fucking step on the gas.
Right. It is uncomfortable for sure. The first time I did it, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Like, you see like, oh, you've been so disciplined for so much of the year, like sticking to those budgets and making sure that everything hits. And then it's Black Friday and it's like, oh, well, that was Q3's entire budget and it's lunch. Okay.
It's 8 p.m. and you're raising your daily budget from 20,000 to 80,000 to try to squeeze more volume out of it.
Yeah. And it's like, well, but to your point, got to trust the numbers. And if the number is green, go. Do not. Hesitation will kill you much more than your budgets will.
And
because
again, you'll be shocked. If you have not done this before, and again, this is where you're going to get the value that other people don't, because as Sam said, most people, they set a budget that they think is like, oh, this is pretty high, because it's like 5x their daily budget, and then they go hang out, and that's it. But you can do so much better than that.
We should do a live stream of this. We should get a client to let us do a live stream of their Black Friday war room. That'd be fun.
I have videos that I shot for internal training last year of me doing this with a specific client, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of coffee. Some other things that I would recommend. Black Friday is generally, at least in my experience, the best day. And Saturday is a trap. At 11:59 p.m., crank your budgets so far down. I think our average Saturday as a percentage is 10 to 15% of the total for the 4-day sale or 5-day sale.
That's about right.
Saturday is a trap. You can lose a lot of money on Saturday. So, you can be aggressive on Friday, but be much more conservative on Saturday.
Agreed. The one caveat is know your audience. For instance, we have a couple clients that target this is weird, but they target older people, like, 55 and up. They shop Saturday. They don't do the Black Friday thing anymore. It's annoying. But yeah, in general, if you're a D2C, Saturday is a trap. Sunday is like a good FOMO day, I think. There's a lot of people who feel like they missed out on Friday. They're like, oh, crap. Or they're just finally assessing all the things that they purchased on Friday and being like, whoopsies, I forgot Aunt May. That's not good. And yes, I did just watch. Spider-Man was on TV last night, so Aunt May's in my head because she's no longer with us in that movie. Spoiler alert.
Is she in the Spider-Man MTG universe is the question.
Well, I was watching the last one of the Tom Holland, so no, she's no longer with that universe. We have to go to the multiverse to find Aunt May now. But
get a gift for her anyway.
Exactly.
And do it on Sunday because you forgot about it.
Yeah, I think Sunday is kind of a FOMO day / a planning for Cyber Monday day. And then Cyber Monday is usually, I mean, for us, Cyber Monday has always been 35 to 40% of the weekend.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Which peaks in the end of the day. Like, people are back to work on Cyber Monday. It is not, like, hot and heavy buying at, like, 11 a.m. People are starting to get tapped. People are back at work. They're not thinking about your deal. So, the pacing is pretty different on Monday than it is on Friday. They are still huge days, but, the last, 4 or 5 hours of the day tend to be the ones that are, going to carry the day.
Yeah, agreed. The only exceptions there are your typical, if it's a working audience, which is the vast majority of audiences, so they have a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4 or whatever. You have to be mindful of the lunch break because people will shop on their lunch break, especially if you pair it with emails. So it's really important that your media buying and your email schedules are aligned so that you as the media buyer know, like, 11:30 a.m., whatever midday sale announcement is dropping. So you can actually crank up your budgets because the second they see that in their inbox, you want to make sure that the demand that you've just created with that is not going to somebody else. And then pull it back down because you're like, okay, well, I know that at 12:30, 1 o'clock, everybody's back to work, so they're not going to be shopping my sale. I don't need to be spending $10,000 an hour. I can spend $1,000 an hour, like a normal person.
That's right.
And to your point, keep those spreadsheets updated as you go because you are often surprised. Like, there is always something stupid that happens on a Cyber Monday. And I don't know why, but it's 10 years running. There's always something stupid on Cyber Monday. There's always something you just don't expect.
Yeah. It's, again, like, I would say at the very least every hour if you want to actually get the most out of it, right? If you want to get the most out of your Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, this is what you need to do. If you just want to have an okay one, then stop listening because we're here to make you more money, and it's a little bit of effort over like one weekend, so get over yourself.
It's not that hard. Like, it really isn't. I mean, yeah, you got to lock in Friday, you got to lock in Monday, but if you nail those two, you can, to your point, you can pretty much chill on Saturday. Take the budget way down.
And you can make your fucking year. Like,
correct.
And if you have a good offer, right? So you're like doing what you need to do and you're profitable on it, you will move so much product, you will make so much money. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's the most fun I have all year doing the media buying because this is the one time a year. Exactly. Well, one time a year where you get to do the day trading and like your media buying skills actually materially impact the money that's coming in.
And again, so much of this is going to be just monitoring numbers and having a system to know what's coming in and what's going out. And if you are at a green number, like, I almost feel like we should just like create like a fear and greed spreadsheet that people can just use, because that's basically what we track. And like when it go green, just put money in the money machine and money printer go burr. It's as close as any of us are going to get to becoming Jerome Powell.
And that's a good thing.
It's great. But the converse is don't chase your losses, right? If something is not working, if you have your spreadsheet with the revenue coming in and the spend going out, and you know the number, and that number is not where you need to be, do not chase the losses, right? You want to chill that back and dial it up in another area where you are good. This is not a time to try to save losers. This is a time to feed winners.
Yeah. And again, like because they are big numbers and they're much bigger numbers than you're used to, they can spiral if, you let a couple bad hours get ahead of you. Like you can be like, "Oh shit, I just lost all of that hard work today because I did not pull back fast enough because it was trending bad for this hour and the next hour is looking bad and like you didn't pull the budgets back." So you fully need to be on top of it and not be afraid to pull back.
Yeah, it's fine to pull back. It's not fine to light money on fire, because if you think about just the mathematics of it are compelling in a vacuum, but in the moment it's an emotional deal. If you assume even a robust 20% margin on your Black Friday offer, which it's pretty aggressive. Well, that means that, for every $5 in revenue, 1 is profit. Well, again, you can extrapolate this out over big numbers, like you said, 50,000, 100,000, and be like, oh my God, if I'm not getting like that amount of profit that I'm foregoing is massive. It could be an entire day's, like all of Black Friday's profits could go poof in 3 or 4 hours if you aren't careful.
Yeah.
So be careful.
And this is where you make your money, right? Like you ride that edge. And you need to be on top of it.
Yeah,
but it's a fun edge to ride.
And I think this is also a really good litmus test for agencies. Because if you are a brand and if you are talking to an agency and you're trying to think about, well, what's the right agency to run my Q4 media, these are the questions you should be asking them. What is the check-in rate? Like, how often are you monitoring spend versus revenue versus contribution margin? How are you approaching Black Friday? Is it we give you a budget and you trade it? Are you moving budgets up and down? How quickly are you making these changes? What's your buying philosophy on these major days? And if they come back to you with a answer that is not what we are talking about, and your goal is to maximize Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they're probably not the agency for you.
Yes. And I will say I think a distressing few number of agencies are willing to do this, but there is so much juice to squeeze. Like it could be another 10 or 15% of your revenue for the year.
Mm-hmm.
For the whole year.
And especially if you're in a category dominated by legacy players, this is a time when legacy players are almost always reluctant to aggressively media buy.
You will eat their fucking lunch.
So correct. With the right strategy, with the right approach, with the right creative, and with the right amount of focus, which is what everything we talked about last episode creates for you. Because if you have done all the prep work, you can actually focus on the media buying. Whereas somebody who has not now needs to divert their focus into getting ads approved, making sure the landing page, validating this, making sure the latest random update that dev pushed didn't ruin the checkout, right? They are distracted. You are focused. They have a fixed budget. You are variable. They are static. You are dynamic. You will eat their lunch. So it all ties together.
It's so fun.
It's a great time. It's like Christmas. Actually, I hate Christmas. It's better than Christmas.
It is much better than Christmas. If you say, hey, who's working over Black Friday weekend? And they say, oh, we're off.
Not gonna make it.
No,
I mean, look, our B2B teams aren't doing shit. But if you got D2C clients or you have e-com clients, they're working Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. Like, I'm sorry, it's the same thing. Like if you work in politics, right? There's the weekend before the election, the get out the vote weekend or whatever they call it. Like, guess what? You're working that weekend. The only time you're not working that weekend is if the race is already in the bag. Like, that's just the deal, right? I mean, it's one weekend a year. We all get over it. Y'all get off. Give people off another weekend later. Like,
this is Black Friday. This is what you sign up for if you work in e-com. Like, this is
Black Friday cometh but once a year. Like, yeah, we're gonna party.
Yeah, and a party it is.
All right, so let's talk about other reader questions. We had one other question in from somebody. Contrarian idea. Is it time to try some unique advertising channels during BFCM if everybody is focused on Google and Meta?
No. I mean,
All right.
add them to the mix. Go for it. But, like, it is not the time to be letting your focus go to fucking Reddit ads when Facebook is there and an infinite amount of budget awaits to spend. Like,
Yeah, I tend to agree. I'm usually a fan of contrarian ideas. This is not one I love.
like if you want to drop a little bit of money over there and like ignore it and see what happens, sure, like that's fine, but I would not focus on it. I mean, there's a reason that Meta is one of the most profitable companies to ever exist in the history of humanity, and that is because they
man.
move fucking products.
100%. The only unique advertising channel I would even consider is Amazon. Because if you are a brand on Amazon and if you can tap into that, then yes, Amazon can move 20 to 30% of your volume with Amazon ads. And unlike everybody else, Amazon has no compunction about advertising disclosures. Like they mix sponsored and organic, like, you know, like Bill Clinton mixed business with pleasure. Like
I don't know if our viewers are old enough to know who Bill Clinton even is.
he's back in vogue now because apparently he's in the Epstein files. So I figured I'd just bring it back full circle.
Release the files.
I'm here for it. Just whatever. Fuck Jeffrey Epps. Fuck that guy. Yes, he was a piece of shit human being, so fuck that guy. But no, I would also agree with you, Collin. This is not the time to be fucking about. Like, we are dead set, lock in, Meta, Google. If you are a retail brand, if you are on Amazon, if it is already a channel for you, then add Amazon to the mix.
Yeah,
And
Amazon is great.
That is where you play. You do not do other things. We do not venture outside of the safe space because there is virtually no company on the planet that will not have their demands satisfied by Meta, Google, and Amazon on BFCM.
Yeah, it just my question is always like, what's the point of trying to get cute, right? Like, you're not smarter than everyone else. You're not going to outsmart everybody. Like, you don't have some secret alpha. So
So what's the point?
do the right thing, right?
It's easy. Sometimes
Like-
the easy thing is the right thing. Like sometimes the obvious move is the right move.
Like, buy the S&P 500, right? You know, spend your ad dollars on Meta and Google, and I guess also Amazon if you're on there, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And the point that you make here is a good one, and it's one that I don't think a lot of brands think about, which is there's a very large hidden tax on any non-Google, non-Meta, non-Amazon with the asterisk spend, because it isn't just budget that's coming away from Meta that now needs to outperform Meta. It is time, it is energy, it is focus, right? There is the opportunity cost of deploying your dollars on a Reddit or a Pinterest or an X is really goddamn high.
Yeah. And what if you could have, like, let's say you do those things and they perform not as well as Meta. Those dollars could have gone to Meta very easily, and you literally just wasted them somewhere else for no reason.
So, I mean, even if we're talking about, 10% of your budget, well, if 10% of your budget underperformed by 20%, and we're talking about a day where this is going to be 10 to 15% of your entire year, oh boy, that turns into a pretty big number of revenue that you have foregone. Like, that could be an entire week of revenue that you just lit on fire from a different point in the calendar year. For what? And it's not like Meta wouldn't take the money. Like, I would understand if you were a brand and you came to me and you said, we literally cannot spend more on Meta. We give it $100 million and we can't spend it. Okay, well then we have to go find some other places to spend it. But unless you are in that space, and virtually no one is on the space where they can put $100 million onto Meta on one day.
You're not rich, so
I don't even think Sean Frank's that rich yet. Sorry, Sean. If you are that rich, you can prove it and sponsor us.
yeah. Come on the pod.
That's right. Yes. Sean, there is an actual open invitation for you to be on here.
That's right.
Also,
And
Matt
he'd be
Bertulli,
uncensored
'cause
too, which would be great.
He'd be fun. Oh my god, that would be the episode that our listeners need.
Lot of F-bombs on that one. More than normal.
That is, oh my God, that would be so much fun.
Yeah. Were there other
Okay.
questions?
We have two others. Question number 3. What happens after Black Friday? What happens on the Dead Tuesday?
Well, you pull all of your budgets way the fuck back. You don't say Black Friday extended. You don't do
That's
that. This
true.
is not
No,
a
you
Cyber
don't.
Monday extended. That's what you don't do. You go deal with your warehouse team who is probably fucking drowning and send them some pizzas because thank you for shipping out this outrageous amount of product that we just sold in 4 days because we appropriately day traded those days. And you expect performance to be shitty
Pretty much.
and you spend very little money.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And then it's
And-
probably going to be shitty for another 2 weeks. And that's fine. Let it be shitty. Like, don't try to squeeze any more out. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back for a great Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Rest a little. Like, you're going to get another bite at the apple in 10 days, depending on when Black Friday falls, and enjoy it. Chill.
Yeah.
Take a little
I think-
vacation, even.
yeah. That's the right answer. Because, I mean, this year, so just for full context, Black Friday is late this year. Black Friday is on November 28th. So it is late in the month, which puts Cyber Monday on the 1st of December.
This is about what it was last year, too. It was late last year, too.
Yeah. So last year, 2024, it was on the 2nd. So it's actually a day earlier. But
Still super fucking late.
still super late. But to your point, take a vacation. Like, you've been working your ass off for weeks, nothing happening. I mean, what sales do from a dollars and cents perspective, from an economics perspective, is they just pull demand forward, right? Like, you create some level of demand, and then you accelerate some level of demand into a finite period of time. Great. That's what's happening. So all the people that were going to buy on December 9th buy on December 1 for Cyber Monday. Great. That doesn't mean they're going to buy again on December 9th because they don't need it anymore. But fundamentally, that's what's happening. So your demand for the next 2 weeks is going to be lower, but then, you're going to get into, like you said, this, I tend to look at it about the 10th to the 20th, like those 10 magical days of Christmas.
The last 5 to 7 business days to the shipping cutoff, to the sort of like the standard shipping cutoff, which does vary by year and by carrier. Definitely get that date and make sure that the 3PL you're working with knows stuff's
Yeah.
got to go out, because last minute shoppers are
They do want
going
their
to
stuff.
exist.
They do want their stuff.
Yes.
So realistically, then that period is where, if you are good, you will move, I would say, 50% of Black Friday or Cyber Monday, potentially during that 5 to 7 business days. Potentially even more.
And that's a good number, right? Because you just had an incredible fucking Black Friday, right?
Correct.
So
So, remember, Black Friday, Cyber Monday realistically can be 10%, 20% of your entire year.
yeah. So getting another
So-
5 to 10% is not too bad in the week before.
Right? It
Shipping
sounds like,
cutoff.
oh, well, that's so small. Well, no, it's actually a really big number. It's just compressed into a relatively small period of time.
Do highlight the shipping cutoff in all of your communication, right? Guaranteed delivery before Christmas is a great offer to have, especially if it's after the standard shipping cutoff. Although that can get very pricey, so be careful with that. If you're shipping something that's very large and very expensive, maybe don't have that offer. But guaranteed delivery is a great offer. Definitely have the shipping cutoff information both in emails, send emails. That date is a very important date, and you can drive a lot of volume. Just doesn't have to be the same offer, doesn't have to be as aggressive an offer as you did for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Shouldn't be, to be honest. And the time, the time crunch is the offer, right? It's like you get it still. Like
that's the win that you're getting. I mean, the other offer you can always run is for existing customers. You can always look at how much they've spent. Like, hey, if you've already spent money with us, we'll give you a free shipping and we'll give you an upgrade or something. That's a nice way to get people coming back and buying more and more and more. But yeah, the time crunch is the Christmas come but once a year, right? Like Santa Claus is loading up his sleigh, so people need to put the gifts underneath the tree.
and the day's the same. Like we know when that is.
Right.
So
That one doesn't change. But it does give you a wonderful opportunity to load up for Q5, which is fun if you are just into that kind of thing.
and if you're a brand that actually can make money on Q5, which some
Not all
certainly
brands can.
can. Yeah. Those
mean, if
those
you were-
sweet 3 year ago CPMs.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think it's if you are in that lull after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, embrace the lull, right? The ramp up, make sure you're scaling your budgets up. You don't treat it like a Black Friday, but you do treat it like better than business as usual.
Especially if you're in your supplements, health and wellness, like you're
Fitness.
moving into new year, new you. Everyone ate way too much on Christmas and feels like a fatty, and is like, oh, I should
do
change that.
Pilates.
Exactly.
Right. Those are the brands that are going to win Q5. The only other group is really heavily gifted brands, because what you're going to have is a lot of returns because no one knows anybody else's size. So they bought them the stuff that was either 2 sizes too big or too small. Or if you're a brand that is heavily into gift cards.
Yeah. If you did a lot of gift cards, you'll get a lot of sales.
Yeah, because then it becomes the treat yourself purchase, where it's people who they've received that gift card and now they're feeling rich because this money doesn't actually count. So your whole goal should be to promote the SKUs that are above the value or just below the value of your average gift card.
Yeah.
So what you don't want to do is give people $100 gift cards and then promote it exactly a $100 offer, because that's bad news bears.
Yeah. No,
What you want to do is promote the
$95
$95 offer or the $135 offer. Because then in people's minds, it's $135 minus $100, it's only $35. That's good enough to be an impulse purchase. Or if it's $95, well, I got to spend more because, to your point, no one wants to have $4.96 sitting on a gift card.
Or they do leave it sitting on a gift card and it's just free money for you.
Breakage is a beautiful thing.
That is correct.
But for
One
the
other
rest of-
thing, gift cards. Physical gift cards, awesome. Virtual gift cards, also good. You should have both, because the only thing that's the last of last minutes, because you definitely forgot. I mean, nothing says I forgot about you like a virtual gift card, but
Eesh. Oof, size is pretty big there.
but people will buy them.
That is true. They will, because they will be like me and completely forget that somebody exists, or remember that they exist but decide that they're not really worth a gift until my wife is like, you absolutely needed to have bought that person a gift.
Virtual gift card.
What is the path of least resistance here?
Giving
And
it to your assistant and letting your assistant handle it.
Good idea. That's a very good idea. So I think if you get to this point in the holiday season and you are past the shipping cutoff, you've done everything up to this point, you are going to have a phenomenal year.
Yes.
Like
It'll be your best Black Friday ever. And it
Yeah,
won't even
just-
be fucking close.
Yeah. Then the challenge is do not push the envelope too far, right? There is a line that you walk up to, and there is a temptation for brands, I think, especially the ones that have done very well on Black Friday, to push the envelope. That is not a good life choice. Do not do that.
No, like you've won. Take your chips and go cash them out at
out.
the window.
Yeah, we're done
Like,
here.
you're
We're
done.
here.
Yeah.
We're done
Like
here.
giving away, this is like, it's poker where you win a great fucking pot and then you just start like shoving money into the center with just absolute dog shit, and you're just like spewing chips for no reason. Like do not do that in the back half of December. Like, be conservative. Like, there's a time to be greedy and there's a time to be very chill. And the greedy time is Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and that week up until the shipping cutoff. And then it's chill. Like,
Correct. The rest of the month should be chill. Unless, again, you are one of those brands that is doing stuff on Q5. But even in that case, you can be chill because CPMs are so cheap that even $1,000 a day or a $2,000 a day budget will go as far as a $5 or $7 or even $10,000 a day budget, depending on the platform.
yes.
And the industry.
You
and
also
everything.
are not going to be doing the intraday trading. Like, that
No.
does not exist.
No, you are, if you're in fitness, for instance, yeah, identify the SKUs that are going to work. Those are probably like your intro SKUs. They're like kits and stuff because it's all these people, like you said, Colin, they've just realized they've gorged themselves on turkey and delicious, absolutely succulent rib roasts. And now they are feeling...
I know what you're having for Christmas, Sam.
Goddamn right. We will be having
Christmas dinner at Sam's house. I'll see you there.
All the meats. Dry aged is preferred. We'll have some Wagyu. We'll have some rib roast. We'll have some turkey. We'll have some duck. It'll be delicious. But the point being, you have these people who have just gorged themselves for a solid 6 weeks on all of these very high calorie dishes. Now feel all of a sudden that the scale does not properly reflect their weight, and they need to change. They need to adjust things. So make it easy for them to feel better about themselves. That's it. That's the end of that's all you have to do, right? People that got a lot of gifts, they want to treat themselves. Make it easy, but just be strategic about the offer. If you're like a car dealer or something, the only thing that actually or a small business group, the only thing that matters is tax savings. So just run the hell out of it. Because that week between Christmas and New Year's is the week where every small to mid-sized business owner, where every person that's got an LLC is looking at their income for the past year and saying to themselves, how in the world can I reduce the amount of income that I have to report on my taxes?
Where can I prepay for everything?
Right. So if you are...
That conference in next November?
Oh.
Book those flights.
2 tickets, please. But in all seriousness, I mean, those are the angles that are going to work, right? It's either you're getting in shape or it's a new year, new you kind of an angle. It's a treat yourself angle, or it's a financial save money, get in better financial health, whatever angle. And that, that manifests either in taxes or for the individual. If you work for like a fintech, it's usually like hey, you remember the last 6 weeks when you gorged yourself and you gorged your credit card? We can help.
Yep.
It's time to tighten the proverbial belt.
Buy that G-Wagon.
Yes, sir. I still don't I don't understand the appeal of G-Wagons. I'm going to be completely honest. I do not understand the appeal of G-Wagons.
They are ugly, but they do qualify for the tax benefits on heavy vehicles or whatever those are.
Right, but so does the Porsche Taycan.
Does it? Is it big enough?
I think it's heavy enough.
Was it like 6,000 pounds? I don't take advantage of this because I live in New York and it's absurd to have a car, even if it is for tax benefits.
It's only $5,200.
Sam's like getting ready to text your accountant being like, I don't think that car we bought last year was qualified.
Oh, it does need to be 6,000 pounds. That is unfortunate. Okay, so we're not buying the Taycan. That's unfortunate.
You got to buy the G-Wagon.
It really truly is funny to me how stupid rules in tax codes create these absolute niche things.
Yep.
G-Wagons are literally the definition of an unintended consequence because they are ugly as shit.
I think they're fucking terrible, yeah.
But when you're over 6,000 pounds, ugly becomes the new hot.
That's right. All right.
So, I mean, realistically, that's it. If you've made it through this far, congratulations. You are better than 99% of marketers. You did your job. You made your client a shitload of money. Congratulations. Pour yourself a glass of whatever it is that you're drinking, or if you're not drinking, open up a LaCroix. Sponsor us, LaCroix. And enjoy your fucking holiday.
Yeah. Take that vacation.
Yeah. In all seriousness,
actually,
December 22nd, get on a plane because the shipping cutoff is done. Your media is done. Your budgets are blown. You did your job. Go enjoy a well-earned 10 days in paradise and then be ready to lock in on January 2nd.
That is exactly what I do every year. It's goodbye, tropical beach, come back in the new year, closing up shop.
Yeah, just don't get cute. This is, again, a good time when we can just remind everybody, do not get cute. Do not do stupid shit. All right. So if you've made it through this episode and you've made it through the previous one, we hope you have the best possible Black Friday filled with profits and relatively little stress. But until then, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Happy Black Friday prep now that you know what you're working towards. Some of this I hope is helpful.
Comment, subscribe.
Press the bell thing. Do that. Don't be a baddie.
Thank you for the questions. Please keep sharing those, and we'll keep answering them in brusque fashion.
Yes. All right. Have a great week.